Welcome to the most applied kind of lesson in this unit. Much of what we've been doing will show up in pre-cal, but this is a very applied kind of problem. It's also the kind of problem you will see in a biology class or a chemistry class or a physics class, and kind of forever. And you know everything you need to know in order to solve this problem. It's really helpful for us to kind of go back, make sure we know how to use our calculator, and make sure that we remember some pretty fundamental things when it comes to solving equations in math. So we want to use our calculators today to be able to solve problems when we're given a formula, right? So this is kind of just a word problem. We're always going to be given a formula. It's going to likely have two variables, right? One independent variable and one kind of dependent variable, and then we're going to have some kind of relationship between those variables. And in grade 10, it's likely going to involve some fractional exponents or rational, like negative exponents for us to kind of just deal with. But we will definitely be able to use our calculator for these questions, where there's no expectation that you're doing these without a calculator. Okay, it's silly. So these are the kinds of questions that would pop up when we have access to our calculator. So here's the problem. Biologists use this particular formula. B equals 0.01 times m to the power of 2/3 to estimate the brain mass. Okay, B kilograms. So that might be kind of new wording for us. So when it says like brain mass and then comma B kilograms, it's saying like that B represents brain mass and it's being measured in kilograms. Okay, so we've got estimate the brain mass, B kilograms, of a mammal with body mass, M kilograms. So again, that wording is a little bit it's kind of prevalent in these problems, but maybe you haven't seen it before. So it's just telling us what each variable represents. And it's also telling us what unit the variable is being measured in. Okay, and that's really important because we're going to want to have units in our answer. All right, so the question is, what is the approximate brain mass of a polar bear that has a body mass of 200 kilograms. So what is the approximate brain mass? So B is what we don't know. Body mass is 200 kilograms. So we know that M equals 200 kilograms. Okay, and we're solving for B. So you're going to find that next year, if you take physics, Mr. Sadler is going to require you to make a list of values that you know and identify the variable that you're solving for. I'm not going to require you to do this. I am going to require you to do the three things that I want you to do always. I want you to write to the formula. I want you to show your substitution. And I want you to solve. Okay, Mr. Sadler uses way more variables than we're going to encounter, so he's got his ways of doing things. These are the three steps that I want from you, kind of like always. Every time we do something, every time we do function notation, every time we do word problems like this, every time we do a trig calculation, everything. Write your formula, show your substitution, solve. So let's write our formula. Well, we're given our formula, 0.01 m to the power of 2/3. Show your substitution. This is where you get your first mark. So if m equals 200 kilograms, then I just need to put that 200 in place of m. So you get a mark for doing this. This is brilliant. Okay, and we don't put units into our equations, right? We're just going to put the number 200. Okay, and now we solve. So this is the part where students don't often get the second mark, even though it's incredibly straightforward and you know what you need to do. Here, what you want to do is you want to watch out for bed mass. We always, always, always want to use correct order of operations. So bed mass tells us we do anything in brackets first. Well, we've got brackets here, but all it is holding on to a number. That's it. We use brackets when we substitute to keep things separate. So there's nothing I can do in these brackets. E stands for exponent. So what I need to do is I need to do 200 to the power of 2/3 before I do this multiplication, right? So this is multiplication. And that's my exponent. Okay, so I want to do the exponent first. I want to do 200 to the power of 2/3 first, and then multiply it by 0.01. All right, so let's do that. And you're going to have to figure out how your calculator is going to work for this. So 200 to the power of, and for me, I'm going to use my x. Here, I'll try to make it a little bit bigger. My x with this little box here, that's going to give me an exponent. And notice how it gives that little kind of top of a triangle there, right? That little kind of, I don't know, little hat. If you don't have the same button that I have for exponents, you might have that button. Okay, so you might have actually a button that has that symbol on it, and that's for your exponent. I think we've done exponents in class already, so hopefully you've got the same calculator and you know how to use it. 2/3, so I have a fraction button. You might have a fraction button that looks like A, B, C. Your fraction button might look like that, or it might look like mine. If you don't want to use the fraction button, just do 2 divided by 3 in brackets, right? So we're doing 200 to the power of 2 divided by 3. So that whole 2 divided by 3 is in our exponent. Okay, or if I wanted to do it as a fraction, it would look like that. Okay, and that little kind of square corner there, that's gonna be your fraction line. Okay, so you've got kind of you have to figure out the symbols of your calculator. Okay, so what we're left with is 0.01 times 34.19951893. And you don't actually have to write out this step. It's kind of unnecessary. We want to put it in our notes so we know what to do first. And then now we're going to multiply that. I'm going to keep it in my calculator. I'm going to multiply it by 0.01. And get 0.3419951893. And we can round that to 0.34 kilograms. All right, so polar bear does not have a very heavy head. His brain's only 0.34 kilograms. Okay, so make sure your calculator can get you to the same answer, and make sure you're using correct order of operations and you're showing your substitution. Okay, right on, guys.